All right, I'm gonna go over a couple games, um, fairly recent Blackmar-Diemer games that are the same position as the last two videos I made, close to the same position. Um, okay, so in the Blackmar-Diemer, you want black to move the pawn up too, but sometimes they don't. They put the knight out, and some people move the knight out there, hoping that they'll move to d5. Or you can do this, which was called the pale face attack, but now they say it's the Indian game fantasy variation. So a lot of times they'll make d5. In this case, they did. So then you do this, and then you transpose into the Blackmar-Diemer. So now you're at the Blackmar-Diemer, and he does a Teichmann. And I'm not going to play h3 again. I have this set up. I've had this hundreds of times. I've had this set up. I don't win every time, but I win a lot. So breaking the pin. These are all typical moves. This has happened so many times. It either be that or this. I feel like c5 is probably their best response. But anyway, breaking the pin, kind of going after this pawn. Also, this is attacking that piece, but it has two defenders. And that's the point of this move, is to provoke this pawn to move. So then you come back, and you're going to sacrifice that bishop, and then follow up with the queen, and then try to figure out a way to checkmate. I feel like that move right there is too little too late. And this is what happened in the first video on this. This happened. Same move. The point of this is if knight takes, then you checkmate. There's no checks possible on the king, so I'm safe. Even though it's kind of, it doesn't look like I am. So he's protecting that square. So just take that out. Yeah, I saw this. So you take back, and then he takes back, checkmate, right? Or you have to bring this back, but there's nothing for that, because check there, you take with the queen. Check there, you take the king. Can't check me there. Can't check me diagonal. So he takes a rook, but game's over. So let's look at another game. It's the same game. No, the same thing I did. The pale face attack, and then he made that move. Now it transposes to the Blackmar-Diemer. This time it's the Yui defense. I do the same thing. They say to put the bishop here, but a lot of times if you put the bishop there, they're going to put the bishop there, and we don't want that. That's a better move than going here. We want him to go there. So if you just put the bishop at e3, I feel like you're not really showing your hand like what you plan to do. And a lot of times the knight will come here, which is annoying, and you could just come back here, or you can come back here. Yeah, this bishop move does nothing, in my opinion. Again, provoking that pawn. He moves it. You can just come back there or there. I didn't go there because I don't want his bishop to take there, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, this is a typical move to try to get that. That's why sometimes I'll bring the queen to c1 instead of d2. But if you bring it to c1, then you're really showing your hand, I feel like. So you just avoid losing your bishop. And I'm going to try to remove this knight so that I can do the typical sacrifice. I feel like it's not good to open up your king side like this and you have no defenders. Alright, so yeah, threatening, he's going to take my rook, but right here I go check and there's nothing he can really do. Again, check, and then I think he thought a long time. That's why right here I should have just took checkmate. I don't know why I didn't, but it splits. And so anyway, I won.